Okay, gonna get started. It's level design time. I was just tweeting a video of some of the new stuff we added in earlier this morning. Basically, we now have the clouds are working out well. The tombstone drops. Um, you can also leave the level, although there are no other levels, and it's pretty much a functioning, if not basic, game. So the next, oh, why did I just do that? I'm such an idiot. There's other things I wanted to mark off that I completed. Okay, well I'll get to that later. All right, so this is the basics of the game. Once you kill all the bad guys, the door unlocks. Oops, and you can move on to the next level. What I'm going to do real quick is I want to make a backup copy of this. I also want to get my music playing. There we go. So let's see. Two, three. So I got about like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, depending on where I want to go eat dinner, that I'll sit here and work on this. And let's make a backup of all this stuff first. All right, and then what I'm going to leave for tomorrow is like the scoring and stuff. I just want to get the basic functionality of a. Ooh, just like cracked my watch. Um, sorry, this like desk that I'm sitting at in this hotel is just very uncomfortable. All right, so what we need to do is we need to make a much bigger level, and I'm gonna see if I can resize map. I want to make the height, let's see here, calculator. So if it's 248 multiplied by 5 would be 1024 tiles. 248 multiplied by 4. Well, 1024 tiles is 496. 1020. Well, if that's 160 high, 31. What we need to do is, let's see here, 31 multiplied by 4 is 124. So we're going to make 124 tiles, remove objects outside the tile map, fine. And so we'll do 160 by 124 multiplied by 5 is 155. Let's do 155. It's a lot of levels. I don't know if I'm going to build that many, but we'll have them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. I'm going to go into here and let's just create let's update the tile map size. So what was it, 155? So one of the things that I wanted to do was let's see if this loads up and doesn't give me any problems. We'll load it up in the tile map and take a look. So it looks like we're getting, yeah, all right, this is going to work fine. All right, so this gives us, so let me see, what was it? Calculator 155 multiplied by 8. I don't know why the height's not mapping correctly, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to create some, we're going to create a basic template. Now, what I wanted to see was, one of these has to be a straight blue. So what I wanted to figure out was calculator 256 divided by 8 is 32 by 30. 32 by 30. So let's create a new tile layer, and we're just going to call this template. I know what I wanted to do before I even did any of this. Well, let's just see this idea work, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to save this, and then let's reload the tile map and see if it ignores that other layer. Yeah, it doesn't like that idea. All right, so what I'm trying to do is I need to create some like the borders, so I know where each level goes. Also, the other thing is that, well, it shouldn't be too hard to piece together levels. There really isn't any other decoration stuff. It's just basically this stuff. What I need to do is let me find a level that's pure blue, or a tile that's, I had it over here somewhere. One of these has to be pure, like just solid blue. We could even do it with white. It doesn't really matter. All I need to do is, now I forgot the dimensions. So 30, 256, I think it's 32 by 30 divided by 8. 32 by 30. So we're going to create a 32 by 30 thing, and I want to fill it I'm just going to fill this area with this yellow, and then I'm going to create each level. And what I want to see is, as we go through, I'll build out all the templates based on this. Is there not like, can I not just do, that's a shape fill. All right, let's just do the border, and then we'll use the bucket to fill it. All right, so that is a level, and then what we'll do is, as we start building out the levels, we'll remove the yellow. So I'm going to cut this, and now it'll be like, that's a level, then there's an 8 pixel border, there's a border, that's a level. I'm going to do this over again. There wasn't enough room. All right, so that's a level. What we could do below it is, right, let's make sure there's a border around this. That's a level. There we go. So this needs, it looks like 1, 2, 3. It looks like it needs 4 more to make a full level. What resolution is? Sorry, I didn't see the. Hey, Better Days. I didn't see the question. What resolution does Pixel Vision 8? The Pixel Vision allow? It's sort of open. The native resolution is 256 by 240. But I have played around with doing bigger stuff like CGA, like 320 by 200. It's just right now it scales it inside of the 256 by 240 window. So I need to come up with a better way of doing that. But the native resolution will be 256 by 240, which was the resolution of the Nintendo. and pretty much like most of those 8-bit systems. But you can change it to however you want, really. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to add 5 more to, this should be 65. There we go. All right, so let's now, all right, we're going to save this. Ah, did I just put that all in the flags like an idiot? Not good. Hold on, let me cut all this out and redo this. All right, there we go. That should fix that. This song's terrible. And I don't even know what this song is, but it already starts off terrible. Okay, so we'll save this, and I made that 165. So let me quit this real quick, and let's fix the tile map size. Run data. There we go. 165. All right, and the other thing that I want to do while we're at it is we'll just do some numbers here to show what level is what. So for right now, I don't know if you'll actually see it there, but I'm going to put this here anyways. So we'll do 1, 2. I just want to make sure that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 'll just add ones here, and then I'll go back and add the numbers. This is sort of like annoying, but once I take care of it, then I don't have to deal with it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so it's good. So these are 5 across, so that'll be... Yeah, the hardest part really is setting up this template. Then I just get to draw little like levels and stuff, and that should go rather fairly quickly. I still got to do music and stuff, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do for that. I mean, so Pixel Vision 8 has a music generator, so I'm not worried about making music. I'm just worried that it won't be good. But that's like a whole other conversation. I don't really know anything about music, so 12. So I just let it do like random music, and then I call it a 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, so I thought I was getting a call, but it was I'd set an alarm on my watch. I wanted to be streaming again by 1 o'clock, and it's 1 o'clock, so we did it. 20. All right, so in the first game, what I did was there were 4 levels, and basically you wound up 22. It like randomly chose like a set of levels, but everyone complained that the game was too short. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make a bunch of straight levels, and you're just going to play through the whole game, and then there's like one big boss battle at the end. And well, we could do some basic like save or continue stuff. I'm not sure yet exactly what I want to do. There's a lot of like things I don't know what I want to do yet. Even though I already made this game, I'm still like treating it as if I'm making this game from scratch again. So let's come in here. Let's open up the tile map, and we'll go through here, and you can see 2, 1. So what we should have is 3, 4, and we'll scroll all the way down. 9, 14, 19, and this should be 24. So there'll be 24 levels we'll design. All right, now before I do anything more, I'm going to back this game's level up again. And I'm going to put this into the references. And that'll just give me a backup of the tile map. Release this as a sequel. Well, I'm not releasing it as a sequel. It's really, this is like the best. Like, it's the difference between like Super Mario on the Super Nintendo versus like Super Mario on the Game Boy. Like the original was the Game Boy version. This is like the real version. All right, so what I wanted to do is, let me run this. Now, it should, I don't think it's going to, come on, there we go, got both of them. Level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. Oh, that's interesting. Level 8. I think it's just like spawning like a ton of players, and I'm gonna see what it does when it gets to the end. It might actually loop around to the beginning, although I think it's slowing down. Yeah, look at that. Whoa. Okay, this is not a good idea. I think the best thing that we could do is this. I'm going to just I'm just going to copy this on every single level now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we can just get through every level and get that part working. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the sprites. And then what I should just do is, I should have just done this in the beginning when I made the template. So what I'll do is I'm going to do it like this, and then we're going to go through every single level. I'll add back in the platform later. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be. What we might do is I might just like hide the left curtain so we could see the level number. Because what I'd like to figure out is if there's like saving and stuff like that. I still haven't figured out really the mechanic between switching discs outside of it just being a novelty. It seems like the majority of my Twitter followers that actually responded to my poll said that they want you to be able to swap the discs out like manually. So We'll have to take a look at that and see how we want to do that. Just going to go through and add these platforms. So this will just make it where at the bare minimum, every single one of these templates has a platform, a single enemy, an exit, and a player spawn. And then we can go and design some levels around that. I'm probably going to use the original levels as reference because I thought they were kind of clever the way that I made them. And then we'll go in and figure out the rest of it. Let's just make sure that each one of these should now have perfect. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save this out and now run the game, and we should be able to just run through all this stuff. Oh, except for this first level where that stupid ladybug is. Let's get rid of that. Because that one, like, until I can like neuter that thing, it is really, or nerf it, I guess is the word I was really looking for, not neuter. There we go. All right, so that's what I was afraid of. It's not really resetting itself correctly. And we need to look into that. Level 2, level 3. Okay, fine. I get it. All right, so what we're going to do is we just got to make sure that when we're restarting everything, so let's look at the game here. So the enemy total equals 0. So now what I'm kind of thinking is one of the things we need to do is we need to remove all the entities when we reset the when we get to the levels, we need to go and tell the entity spawner. Or actually, when we exit a game, we'll look through all the variants, because I think it's only when we get to the level, when we get to a new level thing, we need to like basically remove all of that stuff. So let's see, where is the entity manager? Spawn entity, spawn random entity, remove entity, update entities, draw entities. Configure animation, move entities. All right, so what we're going to do is let's close all these other ones out, and we're just going to work on the stuff that we need to work on at a time. It's like I can't keep track with all these tabs. So this is the entity manager. What we want to look at is the level code, because when we come here and we reset, first off we want to see if entities is greater than 0, then, or actually we can just do a straight loop. It's fine. So for I entities, and then what we'll do is remove entity I believe that's the, where's the entity manager? Spawn entity, remove entity. All right, so that'll get rid of all the entities. When you beat a level, destroy all game objects. Yeah, that's basically what I need to do. All right, so let's try this real quick and just see if that just helps with all those like instances where we saw like it was just respawning these guys over and over again. Nope. Any enemies.lua 25. Attempt to call a nil value 25. Enemies 25. Enemies.lua. Code entities enemies. Code entity enemies 25. Interesting. Wonder what happens if we don't call go to level. And just see what happens after we beat a level. Huh. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Okay, it's all right. So the first thing we need to do is fix the there should be a method here for going to the right level. Go to screen, current level -1. So let's see, go to screen, and now in the code, go to screen, level size. So where's the, all right, so the level size is 33 by 31. The tile map width, scroll to the correct position and convert the tile IDs to pixels. Game plus current level, reset game, level. All right, so let's see what this outputs. We're just gonna have to go through and figure out why it doesn't. So level 1, it's going to 2, right? And that makes sense because level, well, not real. Level 0, 1. This is 1. This is 2. This would be 3 technically. What did it output? Reset level 4 to 5. Then it gave me some stuff about spawning food, active engine, saves. Right, then it threw an error. So what I want to do is the entity manager, when it removes an entity, I think all we really need to do is just reset entities. and just create a whole new table. So I think when we start a new level, we'll just create a new entities table. Can I just check for the existence of the player object before spawning a new player? Well, I can, but I wanted to get rid of all this stuff. Like, we should just, like, wipe the board. Code collision 41. All right. So this is sort of messy. How did I do this before? I think that what I need to do, I like the structure of the language you created. Thanks. I wish I knew what I was doing with it. Game scene. Remove enemy. So the problem is that at the end of the, like, if we try to, what we need to do is we need to flag on the game game level completed equals false. And we need to, instead of the player constantly telling the game that it's over, it needs to tell the game that the level is completed, and when the level is completed, then it will. So, like, where's the portal? So instead of it here switching scenes, what we would do is something like current scene. I feel like I've done this before somewhere. Or is it active scene? Yeah, active scene. So what we're going to do is on the active scene, we're going to say on level complete. We'll call this method. I don't think I can call a property, but it's fine. We'll do it this way. On level complete. And what it's going to do on level complete is it's going to set self.level completed to equal true. And then at the end of this loop for update, if if self.level completed, I'm spelling this wrong, and switch scenes level. What we'll also do is entities equals this, and we're going to clear. We should just have a clear all entities method, and we'll put this on the entity manager. So function clear all entities, and this will just be entities equals this. And then what I wanted to do was all right, completed. All right, so that's basically what we do. And then when we reset it, we set this back to false. Sorry, my wife is messaging me. All right, so always seems to be problems with like the car or the electronics in the house whenever I'm not there. All right, so when we reset this, we're gonna call this, and what I want to make sure is that when we switch here, well, it has to already be working because it's no. Let's see here. What I want to do is let's print reset level. So print reset level, and let's just have it output the current level. I'm not going to do the go to the level screen just yet. What I want to do is when the game is over, there's some place where I set current level. All right. Let's do this code. It's on the game scene where we call complete level. No, wait. Yeah, on level complete. We'll mark that as a flag. And then down here, when we go to switch scene, we'll, so let's do this. Clear all entities, increase the level number, switch to the level display. All right, let's see what this does. All right. Well, that's weird. What we need to do is we got to get rid of this. Got to get rid of this curtain so I can see what the hell's going on. Clean up switching between levels. All right, so clean up switching between levels. Hopefully once we get this part done, everything else will be a little bit easier. I don't know like how to get comfortable in this chair. Ugh, it's like, I feel like it's breaking me. Um, all right, so what I want to do here is I want to reset draw the curtains. All right, let's stop drawing the curtains. And then here we're going to do print level completed game. This is just, I was hoping this wouldn't be such a pain in the butt, but this is what it is. If it was easy to make a game in 72 hours, then everyone would do it. All right, so let's clear this. So there's level 2. So we're at level 2. I just saw a cloud fly by. You can really barely see it through the mask. And then what happens is what's missing is the portal. And I have a feeling that the portal is missing because I have no fucking clue. Let's see if the portal is just being spawned at least. Effects, items, enemies, portal. All right, so at least we're getting a little bit closer now, because now it's going to level 2. And let's see. So it doesn't spawn the portal. New exit. So it didn't make a new exit. Level completed. Reset level. Reset game level 2. Spawn food. Now, why won't it make the exit? Oh, I know why. Because when we go through, we need to reset the flag for creating the exit when we read through all the tiles. So all right. It says new exit. So it's a level 3. I think because I make the exit behind the background, it's hard to see because there's... All right, so it says level 3. So now we're going to level 4. So at level 5. I don't know what that guy's doing, but he's in a free fall, and that isn't going to be good. So let's see at level 5 what the hell happened there. But wait, we skipped one. That's the problem. Two. So now we should be at level 3. So now we go to 4, right? And we go to 5. And 5 is just a free-for-all. There's something weird's going on here. Level 5. What's going on with you, buddy? That's strange. It should be... level 5 should be fine. I wonder if because it like went down a row, if it is just screwing up calculating the positions of things. Three, 4. It's like off by a little bit here. And also what I noticed is that I've noticed this before. Let me see something here real quick. Like all these level, like when we move to the next level, it's off by 8 pixels. I'm gonna make a debug method here, and let's do on game if if button so if button select input state released equals true, then we're just going to call self on level completed, on level complete, and see if we can just skip some levels here. Okay. Oh, it doesn't like that idea. What's interesting about all this, and here's what I'm not like really following, is that so this is the first level, and level 1 is in that upper corner. I just want to make sure that okay, so I just want to make, like, the first thing I need to make sure is that the number is always in the, whoops. I just got to make sure that the number is always in the right position on every one of these, right? And then the next thing we're going to do is let's go take a look at I just want to see this bottom area on the map and see what happens. All right, so 1 is in the right place. 2 is in the right place. Level 3 is working correctly. All right, just a lot of testing right now. I'm gonna try to stand, stretch a little bit here. 2. So here, level 3. All right, the other thing we need to do is we need to, when the game gets reset, we need to make sure that its start row is here before we calculate that start row, because it might still be higher. Reset the game. I think this is fine. I also feel like we can now, on the new level thing, we can go back to the first level. And let's just make sure that that's working. There's just a little, there's just a race condition here somewhere. See now, okay, so now that's cleared. So before, the bottom level wasn't clearing for, but this one's still like all kinds of messed up. Let's see what, let's set current level to 6 and see what happens. Hmm. 15. So what I think is happening is that they're being spawned like really high, and they're falling so fast it is going to the floor. But the levels are correct. Like if we went to 24, we should be at the end. But now that it's falling so damn fast. The player is sort of capped, but you can see how fast he's falling because he's so high. And then they're just falling through. If I go to 25, I wonder what happens to 25. It should technically wrap around to the first. Yeah, now you get like a weird mix between... That's really the first screen because the tile map memory wraps around. So it went like to the bottom and then it goes right up to the... So like if we went to like 26, that would be the first... Technically that would be like the first level. So, okay. There's something in the spawning code that is screwing this stuff up. And we can figure this out by going to 5, and let's go here and look at when we spawn these things. Let's see what X and Y is. And let's see what the penguin. The penguin should technically sort of be like the same almost on all things. This might have to be a bug. This might be a bug with the physics engine. The physics engine wasn't really designed for wrapping like I'm doing. So let's come here. Let's clear the buffer. So the player is starting in the right place and the penguin's starting in the right place. And technically, what we want to do is real column, real height, convert the X and Y to pixels. Level size, X and Y. 32 by calculator. $256 plus 8 divided by 8 is 33. 31. 248 divided by 8 is 31. I don't know what's going on with this. What I want to see though is I just want to see if the level of the game over or the exit is spawning there as well. So the exit's spawning correctly. Like, we can get rid of all of these tiles, and we should have one row at the far end, or one column at the far end. Yeah, all right, so that's laid out correctly. We fixed the clouds. I think this now comes down to the physics engine. And let's take a look at physics real quick and see what's... What I'm looking for is there's some places where I do some offsetting based on the scroll position. Let's do this. Let's go to game and let's do bug equals true. And let's see where the physics objects are. All right. My feeling is that collision points offset X, scroll position. So if I set this to 0, this will just not work at all. Because there's no... oh. New vector. All right, so that's fine. Offset y plus equals offset plus y plus 8. There's a somewhere I'm not calculating the overscan, and the overscan is the part of the screen that you can't see because of the clipping of the CRT monitor. And Pixel Vision 8 uses it to hide sprites off the screen. Oops. Let me make this -8. There we go. So that got me closer. So if I made this -16, I just want to see what the gap is. So 8 appeared to be the sweet spot, but there's other things that are factoring in. The thing that's really weird is I don't know why the penguin's getting spawned completely in a place where 88 by 80 penguin player spawn position 1040. The penguin is 88.8. But even if I take a screenshot of this and we take a look at this in Photoshop, it should be at the right position. So something is happening. Something is happening with the physics is look ahead logic. Make sure we cap the velocity. Calculate the next Y position. Collision points. The next position is the position Y plus the entity velocity Y. So let's do this. Print entity.type entity velocity Y. All right, what's going on here? The player is negative. The penguin is... The penguin is continuing to increase until it hits its maximum velocity. So it's... I wonder if this repeat has a problem with it too. Let's just see if seal helps with some of this gap, and then we'll move on from there. Nope. I really think that the whole, like, I think my physics stuff is all flawed. So there's two solutions that we can do. I can make the whole thing just horizontal and deal with this another time, or start ripping apart the physics engine and seeing what's... Flag value, this repeat here. Over the map size. Well, I don't think I need to worry about... Let's do this. Let's get rid of this. And see. So I was doing the X value. I wasn't even doing the Y value. I don't know what the hell's going on. Entity type standing. Let's see if we even get a standing value out of either of these. And then we'll, nope. So that was funny. It worked for like one. It worked for 1 second for the player, and then it stopped because we're not resetting this correctly. I am really lost. If you're just tuning in, I have hit one of those bugs that has gotten me to the point where I don't know what I'm going to do. So I can still walk out of this with 10 levels and not really worry about it. I think if I did the math correctly, I can just do all the levels horizontally and then just deal with that. But I really would like to know why this isn't working, because this should work pretty well. And anything short of having to like really rip apart the entire physics engine is not what I really want to be doing right now. What I don't understand is print entity type test. What I want to see is where they strike. And then the next thing we're going to do is if value is equal to 0, let's see if at any point this gives me a 1. So it hits. Well, wait a minute. There's something wrong here, because technically, if the flag value is less than 0, fine, that's -1. So we do have one, we do get a hit, right? And then when we get a hit, what we need to figure out on the entity if the result is 0 or 1, let's get rid of 1. Else, if the result is -1, then we go back and forth. Fine. But what we want to do here is that at this point, physics solid collision. So here's what I think is happening. Well, entity velocity x, entity velocity y. And here we do a difference between this grid position y. I want to see if getting rid of that fixes the problem. I have a feeling it's come on. Interesting. Grid position y. So what this is trying to do here is it's trying to take the difference between the bottom position, the next position, and where it is on the grid and move it back up. Minus diff So let's just do this. Let's just do like -8. And I'll take a look at this diff in a second. This is the problem right here, is this calculation. And if we can fix this, we'll fix everything. See? All right, so the problem is that in the real world, it's not always a fixed number. It's based on the amount of speed that they would actually move in the next frame. So the difference is going to be, this should be the reverse, -1. This should be the reverse of how we calculate the y. And what we do is we take what we're doing. We're taking the middle y value plus this, now minus the grid position y multiplied by 8. Grid position y. Now, I don't remember what gives me that grid position y. Grid position y plus offset. So we need to minus this. Grid position y equals floor. This plus this divided by 8. So this minus scroll position y Here we go. Fixed it. Oh man. All right, let's go through and play the game. Wow, that sucked. That was like a good hour of my time. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to level, and let's see if we can get through all the levels now. Still got plenty of time. Plenty of time. I think my big worry is that I have like a few meetings at like 12 tomorrow. And maybe I can like get out of some of them, but I can't like do that all day. So it means like my Ludum Dare ends at 12 tomorrow. 12 Pacific time. So it's 3 hours early. So it may just mean that I'm not sleeping tonight. Or I have to get up like super early tomorrow. So 8. Look at that. We fixed not all the physics issues, but we did fix 14, 15, 16, 17. I just want to go through all these. 18, 19, or that was still 18, 19. Right. Luckily, I think knocking out a bunch of levels is going to be really quick because I'm just going to steal them from my original game. 21, 22, 23, 24, and then this is the end. And then this sort of restarts it back. Okay, perfect. All right, so, all right, I fixed the physics, at least for one bug. Ugh, that was tough. So what we're going to do is, if we get to where is code entities? Where's the game? So on game over, on game win, disk path, we'll set this to win. And now let's try this. We'll do this on the level thing. So when we get sent back to the level and we go to reset, if current level equals or is greater than 24, then end on win. Self on win. Else do this. Okay, so now all we need to do is let's just set this level to 23, and we'll play the game again and just see how it works. Oh, I exited it. Then I need to take like a 10-minute break. I don't know why the errors aren't like rendering correctly. Equal to why what the hell? All right, let's see if this works. $23. Oh, well, that's stupid. This should be 24. How about this? If it's if there's no level, it'll just start at 23. That'll fix that. Testing. It's fun. Congratulations, you win. So I'm trying to start, but it's not starting again. That's because we need to go to disk 1 and look at the code here. All right, but we really have 24 levels. So let's get this right. So if it's greater than 24, so we should start at 23. Let's restart. It'll put us into level 23. We get there. We go to level 24. And boom, it puts in the new disc. Congratulations, you win. And then it should do all the scoring stuff. And all right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick 10-minute break. I just got to I got to get out of this chair. Um, Back at it is 2:11. So let's just say 2:20 p.m. Yeah. All right. So 2:20. I'll be back, and then we'll go from there. All right. I'll return. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully everyone's still watching. I think we got a good chunk in now. We fixed the level bugs. Now I'm just gonna. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use the older levels as reference, and then we'll. I just wanted to make sure that this all works good, and then we'll go through and we'll sort of figure this. We'll figure out how to make this better. Like, surprisingly still hungry. I don't know why. Like, I had a decent sized lunch, but I think I'm probably gonna have to go get an early dinner. I don't know where to go eat. I'm like so sick of eating in like malls. Like, I feel like I went to Whole Foods and I like stocked up on like snacks and stuff, but I feel like I just want to go to like Whole Foods and get some like, I don't know, something from like a grocery store and not from like a chain restaurant. Even though I've like gone to the gym 3 times in this trip and ran one day, I still feel like disgusting. All right. So we're going to start at level 1. Let's run through some of these. Sorry about if you hear the chewing, I'm sorry. All right. I just want to make sure the transition from like 4 to 5 is good. Perfect. Okay. That's all I really cared about. Because now let's get rid of this debug crap. And now it's finally time to build some levels. So I'm 2 hours behind where I wanted to be. That's awesome. All right, let's replace this. And I also want to open up in a workspace, PixelVision 8, OS, System, Workspace, Demos, Reaper Boy, Tile Map, JSON. There we go. Look at all that stuff. All right, so these were sort of like the ideas behind the original levels. And we're going to sort of just take these. At least, like, while I'm getting started. Why is this not Snap? Oh, do I not have that installed on here? Oh. Let's get rid of all these. Oh, can I only have one open at a time? Oh, crap. That's not fun. Oh, no. Oh, it's in the tab. Wow. I see. Uh-oh. And I closed all those, like, panels and stuff that I need? That's not good. Let's export this as an image. I'm going to put this on my desktop. We'll just open it in include visible layers. Export. All right. So, long story short, these are crap. Like, what are all those windows? Is there a way like I can reset the layout? Duplicate layer. Remove. Select. I wonder if I can use if OpenGL is faster. All right. Well, I would love to know where all the other windows went. And how I can get those guys back. New. No, I don't want that. Crap. Anyone use tiled? Map properties. All right, there's view. No. Clear view. Dude, how do I get these stupid things back? Like, I don't understand this. Duplicate layer, remove layer, show/hide all layers, layer properties. But where do I go to see the layers? Reload tile set images when they change. Close. Damn it. All right, let me quit tiled for a second. Still missing. I really don't get, like, there's some things in tiled that I just don't understand, this being one of them. New, object layer, group, remove layer, select, raise, show/hide all layers. So now I can't switch between layers because I can't find the stupid window to do it. Here we go. Finally. Layers. That took forever. View, tools, no, I don't want tile. I don't want that. I want tile sets. Okay, finally, we're back in business. All right, what we need to do is I got to find the other platform. Which is really this. And then there should be a top for it somewhere nearby. Although I feel like the top is the same for both of them. All right, so those are the two types of platforms. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up Photoshop and the original looks so like blah compared to what's the new one. All right, so we have one base and then one little thing here. So what I want to figure out is like the center. Right, so if this is 32 by 30, 1 by 2, it's going to be 16. All right, so 16 would be right here. So that means that we need this, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're one off. So let's cut this and paste it. Whoops. All right, hey, so here's a new fun fact. Rendering WebGL sucks. All right, so let's not do that again. And I don't know how I got this thing dark, but I guess that's par for the course for WebGL. All right, so what I wanted to do here was we're actually just going to cut this and paste this. No. Crud. I really suck at tiled, by the way, so you're just going to it's going to take me like a few minutes to muddle through it and remember what the hell I'm doing. And then once I get that going, we should be good to go. Okay, so the goal, if I remember correctly, for this first level was to just get you to the point of where, just get you the point where you can, just start playing around with everything and fall on the first bad guy. Okay, so we're going to delete this first flag, and we're going to put this guy right over here, and we'll set the rest of this to be like this. So let's save this, and what we're going to do is as we go through each level, we're going to just set the level here to 1, and we'll force it to just play this level. This way we can just go through and test it and get a sense and a feel for it. All right, so we're going to play the first level, and then we'll go through and then knock out the second level too. All right, so here we go. The first level is we still didn't get enough speed for hitting that guy in the head. The first level is already way too hard. All right. It should just be that should, if we're at maximum velocity, we should be able to hit this guy. All right, I don't want that to be the first introduction to this game. I think I think what should happen is that, all right, you know what? Screw this. Let's not copy what was done before. Let me build this stuff from scratch, because I kind of have a better idea of what I want to do with this in order to make this more intuitive. So let's copy, I want this platform to be half of the size, right? And we're going to paste it up here. And let's get this here and paste it here. And I don't know what the E will erase this stuff. What is this one? R. So get rid of that and do this. Okay. Then for R, we'll select this and cut it, and we're going to paste it right over here. Right? So we're right at the bottom of the screen. And what we're going to try to do is we want to teach, actually, we should make it a little higher. We should make it right up here. And we're going to get it to a point where the idea of what I want to do is I want to get the person to really think about how do you get to this platform up here where you can't move, and make it where they have to basically jump off. So let's copy this, and we'll paste this down here. Then we'll copy this, and we'll paste this here. Right. So let's save this, and now let's try this as a new level. So you're stuck here. You can't jump up. You see that guy up there. You get this idea that you need to kill him. And you go here and you die. And what you need to figure out is how to jump on him in a way to... Now, I think the one problem... We just got to move this down a little bit because I took out the... Where's the game? We need to draw the curtain. Yeah, it's too high. So you get this notion that you move really slow when you walk, but that and I think this is like a good, very basic like concept. Like the first thing you need to learn is that you need to have, if you jump here, you need to have enough velocity to kill that guy. All right, so let's move all this down and we should be good to go. I think this is like a decent like introduction to the pain that is Reaper Boy. All right. Maybe this is like a good, whoops. Maybe this is a good experiment for me to like really, to really learn level design a little better, because I sort of like stink at it. I'm definitely more of an architect, like a code architect. I like mechanically know how to make things work. I don't really... All right, so let's see here. Yeah, that's much better. Because now you sort of like, uh-oh, that cloud thing is getting me. I don't want to get hit by the cloud. And it'll give you that notion real quick that if you spend too much time here, you'll learn that that this is going to cover it up. And this first level should teach you everything you need to understand about the core mechanic of the game. That once that cloud goes, it won't kill you, but you can't see what the hell's going on. And see, that works out good. That doesn't work out good. All right, so what we need to do is when we restart the level, rebuild tile map, and that should clear it if we needed to replay a level. That'll never happen in the game, but it probably doesn't hurt to do it. So let's see. Let's have this like go up a little bit, and what you were seeing was that I'm drawing over the existing tile map, and we need to restart. All right, cool. So that reset everything. All right, I think there's a good intro level. I think the next one should be the idea of being able to bounce off of one guy onto another. Well, actually, what we could do is the next one should just be... The next one should be gaining velocity. So let's do this. So let's get rid of this. And then here, we're going to sort of flip it. Where, first off, let's... I'll leave that so I just have sort of a basic idea of where the border goes. But what we're going to do is we'll start up here, and we'll copy this out again. But what we're going to do is I want to make a gap in it. Something like right about here. Because the idea is going to be that you, if you came here and jumped on this guy right here thinking it's an easy win, it's not going to work because you need to have that velocity. And what you'll do is you'll have to jump through the middle here, come back down, and then get him just under this. And in fact, let's move this over here, and then let's move this so it's literally right below. All right, and that should give us that should give us enough. So we'll have one bad guy right here. And we'll save this, and we'll come back into our game, and we're going to set this to level 2, and restart. All right, so if we jump down to him, you'll see that he bounces and you can't kill him. But we could do this and get him, and then jump here and get him. That works good. All right, so that level's done. So now the next skill that I want to teach people, so we'll make the first 4 levels basically like the core skills of the game. So this one should be the idea of being able to chain I just thought of something. I set the guys I set them up so that they are so they randomly choose what direction they go, and that doesn't work. I should probably make them a fixed direction, but okay, we'll deal with that in a minute. What I need to do now is all right, I'm going to make a smaller base. So we're going to do something like up here. And then for this, we'll do something like this. And for the flags, what we'll do is we'll set We're going to. I want to get the idea where you can you can come here, fall through this, gain the velocity you need, and then jump on this guy, and then this guy. There'll be three of these guys down here. All right, so because then what we'll start doing is that the next round of levels will all be very strategic around like getting stuff at the bottom before the clouds come up and you can't see what the hell's going on, and then using other platforms and bad guys to help your velocity so you can get to like stuff that's floating in the air, that kind of stuff. I want to get rid of. Oops, I want to get rid of these flags here. All right, let's see what number 3 looks like. All right, we got to fix one thing here, which is this right here. Actually, what we'll do is I'm going to put them here. And oops, let's do this here. Okay, so save this, and now I think that's sort of fine. We'll get it where you can sort of you can sort of bounce them. That's the idea. The idea is that you could chain these hits together or die. So one thing I want to do is I want to move this over. Whoops. I want to move it over to here because there's a thing that I want to actually build, which is why is it not moving over? Thank you, Juke00, joining the stream. Saying that I have nice graphics. Thank you. That's all Cast Pixels. All Cast Pixels doing. All right. I want to try to get it to where I can kill these guys. 1, 2, 3, and not touch the ground. Because there should be like what I want to add is a bonus for not hitting the ground. And that reminds me, let's do this right now. How am I dying? We should do, before we move on to the next level, we should do this. When you beat a level, where's score? So score... Draw score, add score, reset score. Score is a string, get score. Function score diff. End. What I want to see about this is let's we're going to calculate this value, but the reason I'm putting it into its own function is I'm going to call it when the game is over, and we're going to see that if the game is over and the score diff is 0, if the score diff is less than 1, then we're going to move on to the next level. So watch. This way it'll calculate a little bonus. So let's close this. Let's close this. Let's go to the game scene. And now on game over, there's a thing here where we look for the level completed, right? And score diff is less than 1. Then we do this, and when we call game completed, what we should do is the player should remove himself, but we should also call add score, and let's just add like 1,000, or we'll add 500 for right now. And then what I want to see is on the player, when we hit the portal, remove equals let's do entity dot remove equals true. Can't type. All right, so this should give us a little bit of a like a pause before we move on to the code score 16. Code score. Oh. All right, so 1, 2, 3. And you see it sort of, it added the score, and then it moved on to the next level. And that's sort of what we're going for. I feel like it's not adding enough, though. So we'll do 1,000, and then we'll add up some bonuses and stuff, and then maybe what we'll do is we'll make sure that there's a delay between the levels, but no, that didn't work right. Because that diff is not being calculated correctly. Because that should have increased by 1,000. Score. Score done. Score animating. And return. We want to return, if the score is animating, it would be if score doesn't equal score display. It's actually reversed. Doesn't equal score display. Or if score display is less than score, that would constitute it Hmm. And score animating equals false. Let's see if that helps. Terrible song. Sorry. Oh, I lost the score. Oh, there we go. All right, so we got to redraw the score. So it's 1360. All right, so the other thing that we need to do is when we get into a new level, we need to force the score to redraw itself. Draw score. Copy score. Background. All right, so if we call draw score, that will just simply make sure that we only draw this when we need to. We want to make sure that when we start the game and we reset the game, that we put this. Well, we got to set this set score position. Update all this when we reset the level at the very end. We should force the copy score to background. I wonder why it's why the first time it drew it didn't draw correctly. Restart. It's like over by one. All right, 2000. So I think, all right, so this fixes the scoring stuff. All right, let's see here. So what we could do when we go through and we try to like balance all the scoring stuff, we can like add up the projection of what it would cost of what it would be, or what the maximum amount. Like I'm adding 1,000 right now just to see what happens per level, but that would mean that it'd be like 24,000, which is sort of fine. What I'm trying to think, what I'm thinking about in the back of my head is the idea that I think the bad guys need, since there's only 4 bad guys. Oh god, we haven't even done the boss yet. I like sort of felt like I had this under control, and I really don't. What I think we're gonna do is like, based on the color is how, based on the color of the spawn is the direction that they're going to be facing. So let's go back into the game where we read this stuff, and we're going to set instead of randomly. All right, this is the exit. I don't want this. All right, so if flag or flag equals 4, we'll pass this in. If this is 5 or flag equals 6, the last option will flip them. We haven't done the frog either. Well, there's only 3 enemies. 6, 7, and 8. It would be a frog or toad. Did I call him toad? I also spelled frog wrong, I just noticed. Sprite builder, toad. Toad, if this equals 8, it would be this. And the last one would be 8. Flag 9 would be the boss. And we haven't even figured out what to do for the boss. All right. There are also some other things that I want to add into. I was actually thinking of well, we'll do it over these. So something like it's something like 10 would be a spike. A spike, and then 11 code score. 11 would be where were the items? Food A. $12 would be food B. And 13 would be food C. All right, so that should be all of the entities we need for the game. Now it's just a matter of making the levels. I was almost debating if I go get lunch now. Or not lunch, if I go get dinner. It's 3 o'clock here. That's like 6 o'clock for me. I can go take a break, have dinner, come back, and then just map out the rest of these levels. Let's do the 4th level. I think the last one we'll do is let's try to do something where we need to bounce off an enemy in order to get a food item. So we'll copy this over. And what I want to do is I want to kind of mess with the player in the sense of that they need to keep moving up by moving down. So this is something like this is like the first thing you learn in the game was how to get to like a high platform like this. And what we want to do is let's do this, get rid of this, copy this, and we'll copy him here, but what I want is the first item, which is going to be 11. So that's 11, right? This is 0, 11. What we got to do is we got to put it in a place where the player can't get to it by falling onto that area. So let's try this. And those will be like the first 4 tutorial levels. Oh, I just want to move the player. The player should spawn over here, and we can erase that. All right, so let's give this a try. Oops. I need to set this level to 4. All right, so the problem is that the player bounces. All right, so all right, here's what we got to do. We got to move all of this down. First off, this needs to be higher. Like that. Because we're going to go fast as we can, hit this guy, and then bounce up and try to get that. And let's move this all down to here. Let's see. All right, so level 4. All right, so you can't get that. What we got to test out now is... Oh, you know what's interesting? Okay, here's... I screwed something up. All right, so spikes are not enemies. Food is not enemies. Excuse me. Oh, you know what we should do? When you go into the portal, it should, when you go into the portal, the cloud should just cover up everything, and then it goes to the next screen. All right, we can deal with that later. What I got to get is this thing where it bounces off of this and then gets that. So let's give this a try, and we'll practice this level. There we go. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. All right. I mean, a lot of it, like what I want to do is have you play with the notion of the physics. Like, I didn't hit that thing fast enough. Like, I needed more momentum. And it was at the wrong angle. I did it once and I'll never do it again. But because I did it once, it is possible that it works. One, two, three. No! All right, so I have this other idea. What I want is where is the uh, enemies? Where's the in sign? All right, now I'm starting to have a little bit of fun with this. The exit sign should be sprite above. And the reason why, well, actually, this sign should always be visible. So even if the clouds are there, you should know where the exit is. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. We'll just let this like go while we do that. All right, let's let this just go up. So what I was thinking was that when you go into the exit, the amount of cloud that is left will give you a bonus, and as it moves up, it'll just keep adding to the score. All right, so that didn't move to the right place. I want that exit sign. Draw mode, draw above. You know, it's not going to work because, well, maybe the cloud should go to the UI level. All right, let's see if this fixes it. Basically, what I needed to do is shift the layer order. So there's like it's basically, it goes, well, it goes background. All right, here we go. We're going to do this. Oh, yes, it's reproducible. The layer order is background, sprite, well, it's clear, sprite below, background, sprite, UI, and then sprite above. Sprite above is really for mice. So like if you had like a mouse pointer, you wanted that to always be above everything else. I don't know why it's going so slow. Maybe I just haven't died. Come on, you can do it. So I think at least this way you always know where to go. I don't know. I can't tell if I should have that thing. It's like that mat. You know what? Nah, let's do it where it hides it. I like that it just masks off everything. Okay, so, but what I did like was the idea of when the game was over and you went to the... I wanted to see when we update the layer, the cloud layer, if level completed... it would give you a bonus, and the bonus you get for the level is based on how much cloud is left. So I'm trying to think of how I would do that. Because if rho is less than 10, this speed so here what we do is if level completed equals true, and else So that should just like move it up. And what we'll do is add score, and we'll add 100 per column or 100 per row left of that. So let's see if that. Let's see if that works. If you're just tuning in, I'm just trying to get like the core loop as tight as possible for this game, Reaper Boy. No, see, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Get rid of this. Updates. There should be something here where it would trigger on game. If current row is less than 5, then if level completed, then else end. Where is update? Here we'd close all entities current and then switch scene to level. All right, so then here what we would do is at this point, we would just go here. If scoring animated equals false, then end. Print level complete. Increase the current level. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put all this right here. Get rid of this, and then up here where we call game complete, we'll do this and we'll get rid of this. All right, let's see here. Code collision 41. Ah, right, I can't do that. It has to be over here. Because what happens is that it has to be at the end of the update loop, or it could be trying to update entities while it's still in the middle of the loop. So we just have to defer it, but we will get rid of this score. All right. If all right, I gotta fix this remove enemies thing, or all right. We should do it here, but it didn't. If self level completed equals true, then if score animating equals done. Oh, what we should do is set the if level completed Here we're going to set the cloud speed. What the hell is its property? It should be self cloud speed equals 0. And then we'll just wait for it to go through and end. That worked pretty well. So what we need to do is immediately jump the cloud speed up to like its max. What is its max speed? The minimum cloud speed. We need to basically say that, all right, once once we do the level complete, we're going to set the cloud speed to like 10, and that should just like wipe it up off the screen no matter where it is. It's a little effect, but like what I'm trying to do is tie this to the point of where you understand that the clouds are what is giving you the points, and the fast, like the cloud is the timer. I don't have to have like a visual for some sort of timer counting down. Like I hate that in games. Like it should be like the environment is intuitive enough that you understand what's sort of going on. What I wanted to do though was I need to look at where is, that's the player, that's the entity manager, which we don't need. We don't need this code open. We don't need the physics open right now. We need items. Food A, B, and C are not hiding themselves correctly. So what I got to find is enemies, this right here, and add this to the items. Flash Goblin, did you create all the assets from the start of Ludum, or did you have... I had a starting point. Yeah, no, I'm not that good. Castpixel and I had worked through this game's design back in March, and I just haven't had a chance to build it, so I'm just using this Ludum to build it. Yeah, if I would have done all these assets from scratch, I wouldn't have even been at this code. I even used a lot of code from previous games to get this far. All right, so let's have this go up. I want to make sure that it hides the eggplant. Good. And then perfect. All right, so that is good. What we need to do now is speed up the clouds to 20. Oh, chair is the worst. All right, so it's basically going to happen. So it's adding up all of all the cloud stuff. And what I wanted to try to do is I'm going to let the clouds get up a little bit higher. Flash Goblin said, "Okay, if you were able to make me want to kill myself." Yeah, no, I don't enter Ludum without assets. It's just I want to have fun and I want to make a game. I don't really care about building something in 48 hours and proving that I could like do the impossible. Just not on my list. All right, so I think that's a much better effect now than like just having it randomly give you a score and not know, like, and just wait for it to finish. So now every time it moves up, it gives you more points, and the faster you complete a level, the cleaner the smoother that's going to look. I just want to redo this one level and make sure we got this. Make sure we got this good. So this is like this is the last of the tutorial levels basically that teaches you to jump off that guy's head and get that thing, but it didn't work. Oops. I also don't know why it's going to the 5th level. It should be locked to the 4th level. Yes. No. All right, but I'm gonna get rid of. I don't want the players. I don't want the bad guys to spawn food. I think the whole challenge is that the food should be on. I think on every level we should just have the food. So what was that? 11. So how about this? What we'll do is we'll ramp it up. To entice the player to jump off of the board, what we should do is that was 11. We should put some food like right here or something on the first level. And then on the second level, we'll put the food like up here. I want it to be like just out of reach. That might be too close to the curtain. And then the third level will go to, that's 11, we'll go to 12. And we'll put it like over here. Because I want you to bounce 1, 2, 3, go here, come from the top, then come over, and then hit this exit. And then the last one will reward them by making it like superfood. Son of a... I did this all wrong. I got to erase. I was in the wrong layer yet again. So what did I want? 12? Yeah, all right. So here for flags, we'll put that here. And let's erase this one. And then 11. If not, it would just make like a weird looking thing. All right, so let's start levels 1 through 3, and let's start the testing of levels 1 through 3 over again, and we'll make sure that these things work. So, all right. So you sort of see that food there, and you get the idea that you can jump off and hit that. Oh, I love the clouds. There we go. That looks pretty good. I don't like where that is. It's too close to the... On the third level, this is too close to... Let's just put it like down here somewhere. Or actually, you know where we can put it? We'll put it right here. So the idea would be like you can bounce, bounce, get this, come, and then go there, and then we'll get to 4. All right, let's try this again. Yay, the joys of testing. I got to add sound, too, at some point. Oh, I died. How'd that happen? I like that my ghost poops out a tombstone. And then that works better. It's like every time you die, the clouds get faster. And that's the penalty for you lose points at the end. You'll lose your total amount of points. Oh, it looks so good. It's definitely one of the most polished looking games I've made for Ludum Dare. So you have to remember that you have to gain velocity or it doesn't work. The first version felt like the controls felt a little tighter. I'm gonna have to play with the physics a little more. There's something I need to fix with the physics, and Here we go. Ah, missed it. So one thing I'm thinking is like, should I just put the sound in now and get that over with? Or wait till tomorrow? I feel like if I don't have levels, it doesn't matter if I have sound. Alright, so 6. I'm just going to go through these and make sure that this, like, I don't see any stupid bugs. 7. 8. Wonder what I should have for dinner. Wonder what shitty mall I should go to eat for dinner in Irvine. A place where it's like impossible to find like a decent non-chain restaurant. All right, so I had this idea. What I want to play around with is this notion of spikes. Let's see if we get the spikes working. And I thought it would be kind of cool to have it where you had to bounce. Like, check this out, right? If you had to bounce on a play, if you had to bounce on an enemy to get across the spikes. Clearly, I suck at this strategy. Let's see if we can do it over here. So, like, you'd have to, like, bounce along with him over, across, go to a ramen place. Yeah, I thought about doing a ramen place. Every, like, place I look up to, every type of food that I love to eat, it's like some chain out here. All right, let's see. Here, wait, we'll do it. We can do this together. Best ramen in Irvine. Japanese restaurant known for noodles. Fine. Where is this place? A modern Japanese eatery specializing in soba and udon soup offers meat. No, I want ramen. Now, live on Twitch, everyone helps Jesse figure out what he's doing for dinner. I definitely don't want tempura. I don't want soba or udon. A donburi bowl, rice and soup. I did, like, specifically say ramen, right? Like, I wasn't like... See, this is the problem that I have in Horinori Ramen. Where's that? Here's Cafe Ramen. Horinori Ramen. Horinori Ramen. 92612. Horinori Craft Ramen. Irvine. Let's see. Where the hell am I? $90 Pacifica. 12 minutes away? On the 405? Oh, it's right by the John Wayne Airport. I know exactly where this is. Sold! Thanks, Buddere. Alright. I'm going to go have ramen soup for dinner because I'm sort of hungry and frustrated from all the physics stuff I had to do today. So, all right, when I'll probably be back in like an hour or so, and when I come back, we'll try to add in the sounds. Even if I just take all the sound effects from the original game, we'll add in some sound effects. I can always go back and fix the music later, but at least we'll have some sound. Then and we'll just keep making some more levels. And I guess tomorrow what we'll wind up doing, I guess the most critical thing tomorrow is I have to, outside of just like adding more polish to the game, I have to start adding the scoring mechanism in. And maybe even later tonight we'll play around with what it's like to... Twitter was mostly unanimous in the idea that to comply with the theme of this Ludum Dare of running out of space, that you have to manually drag the disks over. So I have to come up with a system for. I have to come up with a system in Pixel Vision 8 that lets it like load disks. So I might do something. I might come up with a special screen that just forces the loading thing to say like insert disk, and it'll say the name of the disk, and you need to insert that disk, and it'll verify that that's the name of the game, and then try to run it. So that would be kind of fun. I want to stay away from like Pixel Vision specific hacks, but I think that that's kind of like a fun thing to add in anyways, because people may want to make games that are bigger than a certain size. I never really sort of anticipated. Now that we're doing this, now that it's really, now that everything looks like discs and we're really moving away from like cartridges, I like that idea of like, of it being like a specific thing. Here, you'll see the disc loading up. All right, so I just wanted to see the game again. I'm gonna play. Oh, you know what I should do? I'm gonna turn on my game controller and just run it with a game controller and see what it feels like with that. Ah, I suck. There we go. I should do something where if like you hit start or you hit one of the buttons, it'll just skip that. That's what I want to do on the spike level. So that's sort of the idea that once you've looped once around the screen, you have enough inertia to kill these guys, and basically, I didn't do this level the right way. That sucked. Let me run through this again. It's like the first time, like. I'm a little later than I really wanted to be at this point in the game. Like, I wanted to have already had this thing... Like, I wanted to be playing this earlier today. I lost a lot of time to the physics engine. And that's because I used a physics engine that really wasn't made for this game. And so I've been hacking it apart. I'm kind of curious if I can get it to work between both games and make it more robust. Eventually, what I'd like to do, this little library that I've been using for Ludum Dare, I would love to use this. I would love to release this library as part of Pixel Vision proper, so that it'll help speed up your game development. But it's complicated to use. Yeah, there's some like wonkiness with the physics that I need to fix. All right, I think we're in a good place. Oh, I wanted to try to do this with a controller. No! Give me my food! Fine. Alright, I'm gonna grab some ramen noodles. I'll be back in like an hour and a half or so, and then maybe even less. Maybe an hour. I don't think dinner's gonna take me that long. And then once I get back, we'll start adding in sound, and we'll start like trying to get this thing to a point where like, even if I don't have all the levels, I can always like knock out levels really quickly. What I want to get it to is a point where it feels like tonight I want it to feel complete, like that we have basically all the core stuff in there, and that tomorrow really is just like adding in the little details, finishing up some level design. I'm like still missing two bad guys and blah. Okay, so enough chat. I'm gonna go eat, and I shall return. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks Flint Steel, or no wait, it's Buddha Ray for the food suggestion. Hopefully it's good. I'm sure it's a chain, but whatever. It's different than everything else I've eaten.